Peace, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Israel Doctrine Reloaded. I'm your host, Carl Lambert, and you have now entered into our hangout. I just did a video before I did this one, and the title of it was "The Term Christian Has Been Co-opted by Our Enemy," right? So now I want to show you what a true Christian is by the literary aspect in which one should take note of what a true Christian is, right? So I named this The Way of a True Christian. That's right, a follower of Jesus Christ. And that's the true one, not the false one, because there is another Jesus being preached out there. There's another Christ being preached out there, even under the terms Yahshua and the Mashiach, this, that, and the other. The same rules applies. Just because a transliteration was used to deal with the name doesn't mean the concept of what's being conveyed changes. So there's a true one and there's a false one. Whether you use his Hebrew name or whether you use the English transliteration. Let's not be ignorant. So this is what the followers of the Holy One of Israel did. And the Holy One is the Christ, is the Messiah, is the Mashiach. So in the book of 1 John 2, 3 and 6, it states, "And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments," right? He that said, "I know him and keep not his commandments," is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whosoever keep his word, in him is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him. He that said he abides in him ought himself also to walk even as he walked. So did Jesus keep the law, statutes, and commandments of his Father? Did he keep the law, statutes, and commandments in which he spoke to Moses and Moses wrote in the book? So a follower of Jesus Christ that walked as he walked is a true Christian, a true follower of Jesus Christ. And that's the way it was in the first century. Simple as that, right? Also in the book of John 14 and 21, this is St. John, Jesus state, "He that had my commandments and keep them, he it is that loved me. And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him and will manifest myself to him." So if you keep not his commandments, he don't hear your prayers, because that's what's written, and he don't know you. And you're not loved of his Father, and he don't love you in the sense of the word, right? Because he say, "He that loveth me, and he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him and will manifest myself to him." So he's not going to manifest himself. He's going to do the opposite of love you. You could say hate, but there's another understanding with that. I ain't got time to be speaking on that, right? And the Father ain't going to, you know what I'm saying? So again, in the book of Matthew 5 and 19, right? We gonna deal with some simple scriptures. Jesus say, "Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least of the commandments," most definitely the ones that he preach and teach, right? "And shall teach man so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." So was the disciples who was called Christians great in the kingdom of heaven? Were they help building that kingdom of heaven? Are they a part of the foundation? The prophets and the apostles, the disciples became known as the apostles, and Jesus Christ being the chief cornerstone, are they the foundation of the church? The kingdom of that should be coming out of heaven, so on and so forth. Come on, people. In the book of Romans, Paul state, For as many as have sinned without the law shall also perish without the law. That's that 1 John 3 and 4 that tell you sin is the transgression of the law, right? But as many that have sinned without the law, James 4 and 17. Let me get that right quick. It tell you to him to know to do good and don't, it's a sin. So you know the way, you know what's right, you know what's wrong. If you didn't actually get the commandments and the teachings of Jesus, you know sleeping with another man, wife is wrong. Sleeping with another woman, husband is wrong. Child molestation is wrong. Homosexuality is wrong. You can lie to yourself like most people do about everything, but you know it's wrong. So James 4 and 17, as I was quoting, therefore to him to know to do good and do it not, to him is a sin. So if you see somebody hungry and you say God bless them, but you don't give them what they need, then you know your heart gonna prick you. Please stop it. So let's go back to what Paul was saying here so you can understand it now that I put a little twist to it, right? As many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law, right? So that's for the ones that say, I adhere to Mosaic law, the letter of the law, this, that, and the other. Well, those are the grounds on which you're going to be judged on. Those that say they don't have that or will not go by that, he say, hey, you still going to be judged, whether with or without the law. You either going to be considered good or evil, and your acts is going to be considered good or evil, which defines what you are, the tree that you are, by the fruit that you bear. For not the hearer of the law are just before God, but the doer of the law shall be justified. Not the hearer, but the doer. So if you do the law, whether if you have it or not, you good. If you keep the law, whether if you have it or not, you good. Because if you ain't eating scavengers, you ain't eating scavengers. So a vegan that don't eat no meat has not went against the dietary law. Because you don't read where he say you can't eat that plant or you can't eat that fruit. He tell you don't eat that animal. And a plant or a fruit is not an animal. So where's the vegan transgressing his dietary law? So what if they need the dietary law or don't need the dietary law, got it or don't got it? If they not breaking the law, how you gonna convict them as transgressing his commandments not to eat scavengers? That's why people that argue the law to people that don't got the law, but they ain't breaking the law, is stupid. You teaching to somebody, don't commit adultery, and they like, I wouldn't do that anyway. I don't need the book to tell me that. That means their spirit is already inclined to what God's word is teaching. They don't need you to teach them that. Somebody that's washing their tail, brushing their teeth, doing different stuff, don't need to be told about hygiene. Now, you meet somebody on the street or somewhere and they can't do all those things, you might tell them, hey man, don't you know you need to find a shower, and don't you need to get a toothbrush, and don't you need to do this and groom yourself? Because he's not doing it. That's where he say that one that's healed don't need a physician. That's where the conversation go find a lost sheep and bring him back. Come in. So there you have it. So according to 1 John 3 and 4, whosoever commits sin transgress also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. James 4 and 17 said, therefore to him to know to do good and do it not, to him is a sin. And 1 John 5 and 17 reads that all unrighteousness is sin, and there's a sin unto death, right? People, these are simple scriptures that you gotta be able to comprehend, understand, and apply. So all in all, biblical or Israelites that was called Christians, or biblical or Bible Christians, biblical Christians, Israelites that was called Christians in Antioch, right? Have their faith in Jesus Christ and keep his commandments, the commandments of his Father, right? Where you read that at? Let's go to Revelations 14, and I believe that's 12, and we'll get there on the Bible Gateway. Here is the patience of the saints. So when you go read in Ephesians where it said, now you become fellow heirs with the saints was Israel and the strangers that sojourned and believed. And for any other stranger or any other Israelite to come back into the covenant fold of God, right? You have to understand that this is it. You got to have these patience. So the patience of the saints, here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus Christ. You got to have them both. Because you say you got faith in Jesus Christ, but you keep not the commandments, you a lie. And if you keep the commandments and don't have the faith in Jesus Christ, then you're living a lie. So either way it go, people, you got to understand what true Christianity is. Don't let no usurper mislead you. Don't let no co-opter of the term mislead you, misguide you. The way of a true Christian is to do what? Keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus Christ. Right? So now let's go to the conclusion of the matter and why you should comprehend and understand this. We're going to read this scripture, and this should tell you and give you complete understanding why this whole statement, keep the commandments and the faith of Jesus Christ and everything, because it said in Ecclesiastes 12, 13, and 14, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. It didn't say the whole duty of Abraham's seed. It didn't say the whole duty of the Israelites. It didn't say, it said the duty of man. And man consists of male and female. What if they old men, male and female, or young men, male and female, boys and girls, but right? For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil, whether if you had the law or you didn't have the law. To know to do good and your heart convict you that what you did was not right or unrighteous towards another person, then you're going to be convicted, because God is greater than your heart. And he going to judge your heart, that secret thing that other people can't really see unless you manifest it through words or actions. So people, that's it. So you can be intelligent all you want, read as many books as you want, and proclaim yourself to be a great scholar. But at the end of the day, if you don't understand them couple, let me see, them simple things, them non-complex things, you're not gonna make it. You're gonna burn, baby, burn. So I suggest you get your pen and your paper out and go through them scriptures and see what else you can get to correspond with them scriptures to start explaining things that need to be explained to the people in a more sound manner. With that said, people, I'm out again.